SJ Fibonacci here, and welcome back to 438 Forex. Right, I'm super late this week. And this is gonna be very quick. And I'm gonna have a long video for this one. Guys, it's super late. The market is right now it's 7:07 p.m. The market is already open for the new week. I just want to give an update on what happened last week. So, I keep saying in other videos like, yo, is my run going to cool off? Yeah, I kind of cool off last week. So I end up losing. Let me just change it to I end up because I measure my risk in terms of 1 hour is $2,000 for me, right? So this is just under 3 hours that I've lost last week, and the KPIs are bad for last week, right? My zeal score is like 39, almost 40% or 40 out of 100. Lost 13 of the trades I took. Profit factor less than 1, which because I made a loss for last week. They win rate 40%, and my average win to loss ratio is like really bad, way below my target of 1.3. My target of 3, but it's now at 1.3, right? It was a bad week. But what's crazy about it is a bad week, but I'm not even upset because I gained so much clarity coming out of last week. Right? There's something I realized that, you say things in theory about like top-down analysis and trend is your friend, but I realized that I'm trading with the trend, but I realized that I wasn't sure which trend I was trading, and last week provided clarity around which trend I'm actually trading, right? So I'd call myself an intraday trader. I'm trading within the day. I'm trading at the daily trend. What is the trend of the day? And what I pretty much found, what I end up realizing or remember is that the 4-hour time frame, right? So the 4-hour time frame, after the market's already open, I already have some stuff I'm waiting on in terms of setups that I'm waiting on. But the 4-hour time frame, pretty much, you can use the 4-hour time frame to track the daily trend, right? So this is the daily trend. Some of the trade I took last week, I didn't realize that the market already broke from the Friday. The market already broke from the previous Friday. And I was waiting on buys. I was trying to buy here. I was trying to buy up here. I ended up losing most of those trades. Not buy. I tried to sell up here. So I was trying to go get the trend. So the trend for the day, or the daily trend, this move represents, I think, the entire week. For the entire week, the market was in an uptrend, right? So they're creating these higher highs, lower lows, higher highs, lower lows. So that's the clarity of it. So simple, but it's actually very major. Right? So everything now is, for me, is going to be centered around the 4-hour. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's any value in going through any of the trades. I don't know if there's any value in going through any of the trades. But essentially, that's what happened. Let me just go through the week and see how it went. So the first day I took 9 trades and I lost almost 5 hours. Right? Almost 1,000. The next day, almost is what? Just under 2.5. Almost just under 2.5 hours. Right? Then so I like 3 days back of losses. And then I end up having a positive day here. And then the last day was, so I actually did the last day, which probably I shouldn't have done. I end up increasing how much I was risking. So I end up pushing my R to 4,000. And that's how I end up but around here is when I got the clarity. Here's what I was doing, right? I don't know, it just was just flowing to me. And I kind of remember some stuff I actually learned back in the course I was doing with Sean Lee. Sean Lee, one of the greatest traders in the world, not the greatest Forex trader. Right? He was teaching this kind of stuff. So most of what I do is based on what he was teaching me. But I realized I didn't really understand it until last week when it really kind of penetrated my brain. Right? I guess what I'm going to do is to show you guys. I don't know if there's any value in going through any trades. I guess I look at the playbook for last week. A lot of the stuff that I did. So based on the playbook, the trend following, again, you see, I thought I was following the trend, right? Because I was saying that my expectation is for the market to continue to fall. But the trend I was focusing on was the weekly trend, but I don't trade the weekly trend. I trade the daily trend, right? And the daily trend rolls up into the weekly trend, right? What is the market? Which phase the market in the daily? That's what I trade. So you see, all the trend following trades, I lost all of those. All of those, I lost them, right? 11,000. That's where most losses came from. Then there's some that weren't my setups. So these were not my setups. I don't know. After I reviewed them, so I realized they're not my setups, and I would have lost on those. The breaker structure. No, I think about it. I don't even know if this is proper breaker structure. Because again, everything gonna happen on the 4 hour for me now. So the trend on the 4 hour, if the trend is broken on the 4 hour, there's a breaker structure, and that's kind of how we're going to be doing it. And I'll be entering on the 1 hour. All right, so I'll be using one. So the lowest time frame I got is 1 hour. I'll be using the 1 hour to I'll be using the 1 hour. No, as it is right now, as this is right now, right? I kind of expect. So this is the daily time frame. Based on this, I think we call it liquidity. There's so much liquidity here, right? There's no like structure or anything that or resistance, right? Between here and where we're priced right now, there's no resistance between it and price based on what's happening here and the daily. So my expectation is that price is going to continue to rise, right? So the option I'm thinking is going to continue. I'm still very bullish on GJ, right? Now, what I'm waiting on though, before I enter any buys, I'm expecting the price to come back and test back this level here. Again, and I also have confluence, right? So this would have been, this is the previous week's high. This is the previous week's high. So market broke previous week's high, right? It ran through it. I want expect to come back and retest. And then what also happens is that this level coincides with my levels that enter on the 5th one and 78. So I'm expecting the price to come here. If that means I'm expecting price. If price comes here and give me a rejection, I'm going to buy all the way up here. That is the intention. Market already, I said the market already open. The gap. So let's see this break here. So the market closed at one price, but then it opens at a lower price when it closed. So it gaps. So there's this gap between where it closed and where it opened. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know what caused gaps. But you need to necessarily know what caused gaps. But yeah. And yeah, and that's pretty much again. So what I've done now, based on the clarity I got, or the clarity I gained, so I'm actually getting clarity on my own strategy, right? I would have made notes. So what I've been trying to do now is each week I would have like an outlook or, determine like a bias for the week. So, and also it's also meant to be a guide for me, right? So like if I get because again, when the market gives you more information, then I get confused and stuff, you kind of go back to where when you had more clarity at the start of the week, you go back to that information and kind of try to realign yourself, right? So, but TJ, I'm bullish for our uptrend is still very strong. We'll be waiting on a retracement, and then if you look at the weekly, this is a massive bullish engulfing candle, right? So this is the week that ended on Friday. It completely engulfed this last week, right? So I'm expecting this momentum to continue going up, right? There's momentum there. Again, the daily is the same thing. There's no resistance between where price is and where the next structural level is. So this is the last structural high, right? And then on the 4 hour, as you can see, price the break. I said, price the break session from from last week, the end of previous week. But I never see it. I was paying attention again. I wasn't focused on the 4 hour. So yeah, the 4 hours where I've been looking at structures and stuff. Same thing for GJ. They're kind of similar. Price took out last week's high here. As you can see, this actually broke structure already on the daily. It says that it took out the daily high. I'm expecting to have I'm not sure how far I can pull back, but in terms of what I know, looking at the 4 hour structure. Once the 4 hour structure stays bullish, then I'll buy in. Right? If it changes, then I'll be selling. And it's similar to now. Once the 4 hour structure stays bullish, because the 4 hour structure is where I am tracking the daily trend and I trade the daily trend. Same thing for you. Well, you just a little choppy. It looks a little. There's some sort of consolidation here, but in terms of how it closed out last week, it kind of broke the structural high here. So this is the last high. Actually, yeah, this is the last high. It dipped pushed back up, gave me a new high, and gave me a higher low. So I'm also bullish on this. I've been watching it still because it kind of is in a range here. Eventually, it is in a range. So even though it kind of creates some structural, maintaining some characteristics of uptrend structure, it is kind of consolidating. And if you look at even the daily price is stuck between these levels, it's consolidating. Yeah, GA now. I lost money in this last week because prices in mass consolidation on daily. Like it's been consolidated. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Call it 8 days of consolidation. But then Friday, it kind of broke out to the level. So there's a breakout. Now, when you have this breakout of these consolidation zones, you don't just enter the trade, right? You need some confirmation. I didn't actually draw it on this, but essentially what I'm waiting on, I didn't draw it yet because I don't know if it's already topped out, right? So when I see some exhaustion, around the push up here, then I gotta wait on a retracement back to down here for a buy. I have to get a retracement and a rejection from my 70 between my fib levels, right? I have to get that before I do anything. Gold, still bullish on gold, right? Again, guys, if I really I was trying to sell gold at one point here. But pay attention to the 4-hour trend and structure because I was on the 1 hour looking at the structure. So it's too small for kind of how I trade. I might actually be a swing trader, and I think about it, I might actually be a swing trader. I mean, I don't try to characterize myself because I don't really know, but I just know what me do, right? And I'm really been trading the 4-hour trend. So I guess that means me a swing trader. I don't know. All right, so I saw a breaker structure on the, so I was thinking, structure will break on a lower time frame to facilitate a retracement on a higher time frame, right? So on the 4-hour, all this move was a simple retracement back here. That's all it was. On the 1 hour, because I was focused on the 1 hour, it looked like a breaker structure to continue falling, right? And in that case, it will be a counter trend because it is a retracement. A retracement is a counter move to the actual trend. Always. So if it's in an uptrend, a retracement will be pulling back. If it is in a downtrend, a retracement will be pushing up. So retraces and then continue. All right. So I was trading the retracement, counter trend, and it just messed me up. I was in. All right. So maybe look at that. I should look at that gold trade. Gold trade. Mention that gold trade. And then this now in consolidation, to be honest. This is in consolidation. I think the trend is still active though. Because as long as price does not break this low right here, it is still an uptrend. So this is the 4-hour trend, still an uptrend, even though it kind of is in a range. So I may watch it. I don't know if I'm gonna enter this. Price come here, so come reject 3 times, multiple times, but it's still not gonna go. It's still not going any higher. All right. So I'll be watching this. And yeah, that's really it. I said I'm not even perturbed. I'm actually really excited for this week. I don't know. Hopefully, some of these things play out. Because I'm not even worried that they play out. Hopefully, because a part of sometimes the best trade is no trade, right? Because the best thing you can do, eventually, with this whole thing, is about you trying to make the best decision based on the information that you have, right? And if the best decision is no trade, then this is no trade. But you just have to know what the tools that you're using to make that decision, right? So, yeah, I was looking at the gold trade. So the gold trade, and like so this new character, to be honest, I'm going to create some material around in the academy and create some material because now I'm very, very clear on what I'm doing. Right? I wasn't necessarily clear on what I was doing. I'll be honest. I had an idea, or what I'm saying is that it was working before for me because at the time the market was in a, I think what was I doing last week? I was selling last week. I think I was selling most of last week because the market was selling off. Like the daily structure was in a downtrend. But for most of them, it broke structure. Broke structure here for GJ. It broke structure for EJ as well last week. I never even paid into that because I was looking at the higher trend, right, which is not what I trade. So now we didn't have a lot of clarity. Again, same thing with this. The reality is that if you look at this structure here, so So similar to how the 4 hour structure represents the daily trend, it's the same thing on the daily, where the daily structure represents the weekly trend. These are representing weekly movements. So I was focused. If we look at this right now, if really and truly the market is in a downtrend in the weekly structure, but I don't trade the weekly structure, I trade the daily structure, right? So while the market is still, and that's very important, while the market is still in a downtrend on the weekly structure, the daily trend is still consolidating. For this, for example, for this, it's consolidating. And sometimes the trend actually matches the weekly trend, right? So like even this now, the daily trend, it matches. So the weekly trend matches the intraday trend, daily trend. All right. So they match. Sometimes they match. Sometimes when they don't match, all it means is that the lower time frame is actually carrying with a retracement. That's when they don't match. Let me say it again. If the daily trend and the 4 hour trend do not match, it means that the 4 hour probably carrying out some kind of retracement. Right? So a retracement on the daily trend would look like a downtrend on the 4 hour, if that making sense. So, and again, is that they're like building blocks, right? They're building blocks. The lower time frame movements make up movements on the higher time frame. They're like building blocks. Like it's divisible. Yeah, essentially. They're like atomic. They make up each other. Molecular, if that's the word. Makes me try to find the word, but yeah. No for gold, not for silver. I think I have this dash here. I don't know what the trend is right now. I don't know what to do. So I'm going to go till the week, show me what. In terms of the daily though, it has been in an uptrend. Not daily. Not even daily. In terms of not even daily. In terms of this structure here, this is weekly. Right? This is weekly trend. This is an uptrend on the weekly. Weekly movements. These are weekly movements. This is daily structure. Which is what I trade. So let's see. Let's see the weekends. Let's see. I don't think there's anybody reviewing any trades today. But this is where we are. We can make note of these things to see. What people should do is make note of them to see how they turn out next week. So I say I'm bullish for GJ. I know again, I'll tell you guys, not more something this weekend. I think this week like the last week of the month is usually very, in my estimation, very slow. But maybe at the time I was trying to find an excuse for why I wasn't working out. But let's see. Let's see. The movements are not usually very erratic. In terms of news, there any news for this week that's big. Mm, I go home. First actually. Calendar. But I'm not sure why it's showing me. I think I did go on the gold chart. I did go on the Forex calendar. Forex calendar. I have no idea which country this is. It's a country, I don't know what it is though. I don't know which country it is, but they have high impact news. Okay, so because I trade GA, right? So this news might be impactful on GA. Might be, probably will be. This is CPI. Inflation reading, quarter over quarter, inflation reading year over year. These are inflation readings. And those, of course, impact currency valuation. The thing is that might be valid to me. GA, GBP, yeah. Okay, now this normally impacts market. It's FOMC. So this is the financial, I think it's financial, I don't remember anyways. It's a committee, it's the monitoring committee of the Feds. So they're the ones that are responsible for fiscal policy and rate changes and trying that whole balancing act between managing inflation and managing growth of the economy. Because if you increase rates too high, it can stifle growth by making money too expensive to access and something there. So it's not expansive. And then when you reduce rates, it's more expansionary, where you get the market to, yeah. So they have to balance it. So they do this thing. So they talk and they give their statements about where they see the market going. So like hawkish and dovish. I don't remember exactly what these mean, but I know hawkish. So one is when they're focusing more on like trying to reduce unemployment and stuff like that, and want us to do more inflationary way, I try reduce rates. So they kind of have opposites. They're opposites, but I don't remember which one is which. I don't remember which one is which. Uh, but it will give an idea what the feds are thinking, and this information is used to price to pricing changes in the market, right? So the feds will actually this information impacts the market. It's very important. Uh, but usually 2 o'clock in the day, I'm already probably out of a trade already. I'm in a trade, So I'm actually will be on vacation this week, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm on vacation. Again, I also trade EJ, so these things might impact. There's a lot of impact news, man. US unemployment claims, these things impact. A lot of impactful news this week. Yeah, man, a lot of impactful news that can impact. And I like news. So even this is what, Friday? Core price. Oh, this is the inflation readings again. Let me see. Last time I take the talk from Chisholm. This is production or actual inflation. Differs from CPI in that it only measures goods and services targeted towards consumed by individuals, right? So I think this is a we call it, they take out some of the price that they measure in there. Right? So they only focus on those that are services that are used by individuals. So this might include cost of gas, cost of food, those that are directly used by individuals. So for example, it probably wouldn't have an example, so it's not used by an individual, but it would be used by a company. Maybe oil prices, because we don't necessarily the consumer themselves don't necessarily use oil per se, even though we use a byproduct of it. But maybe, for example, like it could be something like that. I like news because, like, for me, tell you guys, the market is moved by fundamentals. Fundamentals move the market. News, information is what moves the market. People see the information, assimilate it, and make a decision. And not even people, the banks make a decision using information, and the market move. Me and you can't move the market. You could have buy a little more. Your little is more like a microscopic drop into the big vastness of what the market is, of what the biggest financial market in the world is. The most liquid financial market in the world is Forex market. All right. So that's kind of what it is. So if there isn't news, the market don't move. So the reality is that fundamentals you move the market, but you use technical to time it. And that's what it is. Right. So you can't be and sometimes you don't necessarily have to focus on the fundamentals. Sometimes, most of the time I find that the technicals are in line with the fundamentals. Um it's just sometimes I can be a little volatile. So you will have an area we expect the price to go to. Like for example, in my chart here, I might have an area that I expect the price to go to, which I'm waiting on, right? Like even this level here. Now, news can come out, so the news came out of the market where it actually wick through this, right? So it just fly through it and just fly up and give me a chance, enter. So it would respect the level, but then the news, because of the volatility of the news and information and the swiftness of the news and people react to it, it does fly through it, probably come all the way down here. Because to be honest, I would want to set my stop. Well, ideally I want to keep my stop below the last low, which is about here. At least here. All right, that's usually what I want my stop. The entry is here. It's all too wide. So ideally I don't want my stop below this. So worst case or best, well, this is the best case to enter here, right at the 71. 71 is like a brick wall usually. So if it breaks through this, it might come and press against this. No, if the news coming out, it might wick through. As usually, I don't like set orders. You can start order in a way where you say, yo, while you're sleeping, if the market comes here, it trigger the order and then it continue. But sometimes the market will wick through, trigger your order, and then it stop you out because you have still a stop loss of your order, stop you out and then continue. So that's sometimes what happens with the news where it's volatile. So it will still respect the font, it will still respect the technicals, but then it just does it in a very aggressive way. Yeah. Well, guys, until next time, let's see what this week holds. Let's see if I can really do one whole year with this thing. Um, yeah, let's see again if I can do one whole year. And let's see if I don't get too caught up in, if I do have success, believe I will. If I do have like success where I'm actually returning, having like positive returns every month, because at the end of the day, what I want to do is be able to extract an income from it. You know, I get rich quick from it, just to extract an income from it each month. If I'm able to achieve that, let's see if I'm able to do it all the way to the year. I know excited and trying to go to go live, right? Because I'll do, honestly, God tell me, say, yo, we can go live now, but not go live. It's like, I've been praying about it. But yeah, maybe when I get to 6 months, I ask him, like, is it time now? Can I go now? Like, or something. If I'm have a consistent 6 months of like positive double-digit gain, because I really don't want double-digit gains. 10% a month on average would be really good, which we probably can do more than, if you be honest. Because, yeah. Where am I right now? Let me see. So, oh yeah, so I would have shown you guys last week, but if I show you where am I now net, if I clear it, I'm still up 32,000. Still up 16%. So double-digit gains, right? Now, in terms of my something that got messed up. This one can upset me the most because I messed this up. Hey guys, this is one I focus on the most, right? So it would have been like 1 to 3 the previous week. It has broke. It's falling now because of how many losses I took on. Right, took on my losses, and then I was also increasing my risk. So it kind of threw off the balance of this. So if you look at this, this didn't increase. This didn't even move. My average win never really increased. It never really moved. So let me show you what I mean. Let me go back to the previous week. We ended the 17th. But it it barely moved. It went down to like both. It went down, but this was so low. So this went up and this also went down. So it threw off my KPI, my 1 to 3 targets. Because I'm not coming from this 93% zero score and 1 week completely threw it off. But let's see if we can recover for this week if there's an opportunity to the market. But let's see. Let us see. If you realize what most of the score what I'm losing most of the score from is here, my zeal score. And the zeal score is the recovery factor. So recovery factor is like how well you recover from losses. If you look, I had massive drawdown. I think at one point I was like, yeah, look. So I went from 37,000 all the way down to $19,000 on it by Tuesday. The 22nd was in. 22nd was Wednesday. So by Wednesday, with the middle of the week, we already joined the account by almost half my gains. Right? Or more than half. But then I recovered into, I think, actually the last day, which is Friday. I made $11,000 on Friday. I made $11,000 on Friday. $11,000 on Friday, right? Which was 2 trades. Which was, yeah, 2 trades. Because I end up exit this trade because it was so late in the day. And this, I didn't get my 1 to, almost 1 to 3. But I was satisfied with it. And I also over risk. So I was risking, based on this, I was risking $4,000 of my risk, but it did work out. And that was after I got the clarity around the strategy, the trend I'm trading, right? So I think, and again, all other stuff I think are still very high. So I still have 90% for consistency. My win rate dropped a little bit. I'm now at 79%. The profit factor went down because it went down. My average win. So this is showing the contribution to the score. This also went down 60 something because that's falling. And my max drawdown. Why is saying 48.55? I'm not sure that means what. 48. Oh yes, because I did drawdown almost literally. Like the drawdown from here to here, I said was almost 50%. Yeah. So because of that, the max drawdown I've had so far has been almost 48%. I'm not sure if I said that right. Maybe I'm talking foolishness. I'm not sure what this mean. This 48.55 mean. Oh yeah, so this is the one that I lose the most of the factor. So I'm still consistent in terms of how I'm trading. Max drawdown, I need to fix that. I'm not sure if it's going to change though. I'm not sure how that changed this. These I can adjust. These I can fix. Because if I make some bigger wins this week, and minimize my losses, then this can recover. But let us see. Let us see it goes. Let us see it goes. This is what the calendar looks like. 12 grand first week, 25 second week, drawdown for week 4. Let's see what week 5 holds. Until next time, SJ Fibonacci out.